Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Salty Bottom Outdoors. Before we get today's video started, I have a couple things I need to say. First of all, I was having memory card problems on this trip. About 3 hours of this trip were either not captured at all or were too corrupted to use. I'm pretty aggravated about it because we had a fantastic day with 45 keeper fish and 15 to 20 throwbacks. And a lot of the best action was later in the day, which is when my memory card started acting up. The other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about is there is a charity fishing tournament here in Southeast Louisiana towards the end of June. I'm not sponsored by them, I'm not affiliated by them in any way. I'm just trying to help my fellow anglers out who might want to participate in a tournament that contributes to a great cause. The dates for this fishing invitational are June 24th through 26th. All of the benefits go to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They're gonna have door prizes and raffles, as well as prizes for several different categories of fish, as you can see by the poster on the screen. I personally took off of work so I can fish this tournament. I hope to see y'all out there. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And I will see y'all after this video for this week's tackle tip. On a beautiful, calm Saturday morning, just pulled up to the first spot, just figured we'd try this spot. I always see people catching fish here. Ain't got much tide movement right now. Give this spot a few minutes. Don't turn up anything. Got a few more spots in mind, not far from here. I sure wouldn't mind some more tide movement though. Really just moved right across the pass here. Got a bayou up ahead that drains a good bit of the marsh on this side of this point. So I don't know what happened to my camera, but tried to turn it on, it wouldn't start. But first keeper of the day, head caught on a jig on the bottom, little flounder. All right. Oh, he choked it too. First keeper for me this morning, about a 14-inch trout. And he choked this treble hook, man. There wasn't no way I was missing this fish. All right. So we got Ed hooked up a flounder. I had problems with my GoPro, so we didn't catch him on video. I just hooked up a nice fat, about 14-inch trout right here in this little bayou. This bayou drains a good chunk of marsh out here. We're actually working our way up towards this intersection. The struggle today has been moving water, but we ain't had clean water either. And the water in here is, I don't know, what'd you say, depth, visibility about a foot or so? Yeah. Which is better, I mean, we were in practically chocolate milk a little while ago. Hey, all we need is a redfish and we got a slam on your boat. Your first fishing trip the boat will have a slam, not one person, but. Right. Hey, that's a red, that might be a big trout. That's a big trout. That's a nice trout. Or a baby red, one of the two. It's a baby red. Dadgummit, it's a rat. I don't think he's gonna keep. Let's see what we got. 16? He might. Ooh.
You almost lost him.
That's a keeper, boys.
Yep.
That's 16 and a half. So same setup I was running last time, a little bit shallower because we're in shallower water. At about 2 feet under the cork. Gonna hook the shrimp right in front of the brain, right behind the horn. Come on, give me a pattern. I'm tired of this pick up one and then nothing and move and then pick up one and nothing and then move. I want to catch them. I want to sit in one spot and whack them for about half hour or so. Lonnie got him a trout. About time. His freezer ain't gonna be empty after all. Hold him up. There you go. About a 14-incher. That's a nice trout. That's either a red or a flounder. Nope, that's a trout. Keep him out the trolling motor. I just turned it off. A nice trout. That's another nice one, man. That's another 14-incher. Did I call it?
She's gonna be 14 by the time she straightens her tail.
Called it. You got another one? Oh, I'm about to switch to a jig, boys. I'm about to switch to a jig. Oh yeah, that's definitely a keeper. Lonnie got him a nice one.
Camera on.
Oh, it's on. I just got bumped.
It's on. I don't know what he is, but
he's staying down. That's a trout. That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Get the net.
I got you.
I don't want to lose it.
Come on, come on. He ain't a monster, but he's a nice one. That's an 18-inch trout, probably. There you go, Lonnie. They here. They picky. They just pecking at it. Oh, I just got one. I just got a nice one. No, I didn't. I got bottom.
He got a picture
there you go.
Of the bottom, too.
About an 18-inch.
Did you get a picture of the bottom?
Shut up. Boy, I thought I had a hammer. Ed with another special trout. Oh, he ain't exactly big, but he looks like he'll keep.
Keep.
Yeah, he'll keep. Purple and chartreuse is a damn good color, especially in the fall. You gonna need a net, Ed? I got you. Bring him over here on this side to your right, Ed. I got you. Ed with another nice one.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
That's
He's a hoss.
That's 17 incher. What you think? 16, 17 inches?
Yeah. Look, same spot I'm catching them in.
Right in the corner. My grandpa, he didn't say funny things, but the timing in which he said them,
He said things funny.
made them hilarious.
Good golly, that cork was completely gone.
Of course, the camera died right when I set the hook on this guy. Y'all think he wanted that? He choked it. These fish have been a little finicky, but they're nice. And when you get them, they are choking it down. And of course, you know what happened? Wasn't paying attention. Turn around, cork was under.
I turned around and it was like, hello.
All right, guys, so the tide is just starting to change. You can see the water just starting to move off this way. These fish are finicky, and I have a feeling that once the tide starts to move, they're really gonna turn on. But we've been catching, what, 14 to 18 inch trout here. Oh man, this is a nice fish. He's taking drag. That might be a red, either that or it's a hammer trout. I see him flashing. I think that's a trout. If that's a, I think I do. That's a trout. Oh, that's a trout. That's a nice one. Woo!
That's a man.
That might be 20 inches. That might be my first 20 incher this year.
That's a fine fish.
I need a picture with this one. Just over 18, and she is thick, boy, thick. That's what we come out here for. Thick with 2 C's. Y'all see that? That's what we come out to the marsh for right there. That's what we get. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Let's do that again. That was a nice trout, boy.
Yeah, that was a good trout.
That trout hit that lure so hard it sounded like I popped the cork. But I didn't. That was just the trout took it under so fast. I hope. Oh man, Lonnie almost had him one. Oh, I'm on. I think y'all might need to pick up some live shrimp. This is another big one. It's another big one. This is another nice one. Maybe. I ain't caught a glimpse of him yet. They ain't come up. Good God, it still hadn't caught a glimpse of it. That's another nice one. I'm gonna flip her. Woo! Choked it. You think they hungry? You think they getting fired up? These boys just choked it. Woo! I think we found a pattern. Oh, and Lonnie just missed one. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's a fine fish.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Let's see. That's almost 16. Just a hair under 16. Another one, back-to-back fish, 16 inches plus. That's a nice fish. That's a red.
Yeah,
or a black drum.
Look at him, he's running. Take off.
Hit spot lock. Hey, this is a nice fish too. Look at it. Oh, still pulling drag.
Where's his buddies at?
I know, right?
Go that way.
You good? They might be right behind him.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get tangled in you.
That's fine.
Oh, you went the other way.
Yeah, he's running left.
All right. I'd be nice to get a double up.
Oh, that's a big. That's a nice red. What you thinking, Ed? 25?
Right. I still ain't seen it.
He about to come right on this side of the boat. I would say I need a net, but I'm not sure this one's gonna fit.
Oh, we'll make it in.
Yeah, about 25 incher.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna need the net though.
Look at that. Rod holders.
Y'all gonna switch to live yet, or?
Yeah, no. I think I'm gonna go to live, Ralph. I don't fish live.
Oh.
Nice red.
Yeah.
Well, I'm missing my fish over there. He's playing around with this little thing. Ouch! Burned my ear.
My bad. I'm trying to get it to come to you, but he's fired up, man.
He don't spit that hook because I'm gonna wear it.
There we go. There we go. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna say 24. Your money's on 22.
My money's on 22.
All right. You ready for me to take your money?
Yes.
24. God, I'm good. Good.
24.
God, I'm good. Look at that.
Oh, look, you a half inch off the back.
Look at the tail touching, nose on 24. Don't you? I know how to measure a fish. Look at the blue in that tail.
That's
look
a
at that.
beautiful fish, isn't it?
Look at the tail lit up, man. Look, I can see the drop off. That's where we've been catching. You see it right there?
I'm hanging.
There he is. I seen him hit it too. That's a nice one, Ed. You need a net? Come to this side. Come to this side. There's a little red.
Hey, I got my
You got your slam.
Keep that 17.
Throw it in the box.
I got my grand slam in the box.
Hold him up. Hold him up. That's not a grand slam. You got to get a bass for a grand slam, but you got a marsh slam. Yeah.
Fish on.
There you go. Hey, y'all have a good one. Be safe, all right? There he is. Lonnie got him one. Hey, y'all pass back through. You're a good luck charm. All right. He's right under your line. Nope, out of the trolling motor. There we go.
Did it go down back there, on?
A little bit of lull in the action back in that bend. Moved one bend down as soon as we got to the bend. 14-inch trout. And Ed's on. Your turn, Lonnie. That's a nice one, Ed.
There you go.
Oh, I hear some drag zipping on that one. Ed got the rod doubled over. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Come on in there, boy. Yeah. There you go, Ed. That's a 16-incher. That's a hefty one. I was really worried this morning, them first couple of spots, that we wasn't going to be able to get on a decent bite. 16, 17? See what you got. 17? Flirting with 17, huh?
Flirting with it.
Oh, and I'm on. Another trout. Hey. I turned around after I got a video of you measuring, and my cork went under as soon as I looked at it.
I can't reach the water.
Y'all think he was hungry?
Oh,
there he is, on the voodoo scrimp.
On the voodoo.
Oh, I'm on.
You're on my fish.
Right next to the daggone boat. Those could be twins, man.
He's meaty. Before it dies, that'd be perfect.
Huh.
Fish on.
That's a bass. Y'all want him?
Go ahead. No, I don't know.
Ed? The marsh bass are decent to eat.
Put him in the cooler. They are good to eat.
I still got my shrimp. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm pretty aggravated that I didn't get some of the best fishing action on camera because of my memory card problems. And my tackle tip was actually gonna be tied into the video, but most of what my tackle tip was associated with, it didn't get captured. Later on in the day, in the part that I didn't get to capture, everybody switched from live shrimp and all three anglers were using jigs on the bottom, slow retrieved, constantly reeling it across the bottom. That's how the fish wanted it the last couple of weeks. We were getting bites on every cast and keepers seems like every other cast. The fishing was insane. It's one of the best bites that I've been on in a long time. With that being said, this week's tackle tip, we're gonna go over some rigging. If you're a live bait fisherman and you're trying to get into artificials, rigging is extremely important but often overlooked. How you present a lure to a fish is critical. We don't think of fish as being inherently intelligent creatures, but they know what their food looks like and they know what their food doesn't look like. And if your soft plastic is rigged incorrectly, it won't look like their food and you might be missing fish just because they know something's not right. If you want to get into jig fishing, which is my bread and butter, when the bite gets tough, that's what I go to. That's what produces for me. You need two things. You need a jig head. You've heard me talk about it before. This is the Death Grip jig head from Captain Lane Zimmer's Ghost Minnows. There's a link in the description below if you want to pick up a set of these. Super strong, super sharp hook. The best keeper in the game. Your plastics do not slip off of this jig head. High quality product. Once again, not sponsored by anybody in this video. This is just something I believe in. The other thing you'll need is a soft plastic. The color that has been working fantastically the last couple of weeks has been some type of purple with a chartreuse tail. This happens to be a vortex shad. 90% of the time when I'm throwing a soft plastic, I have a vortex shad or a matrix shad tied onto the end. Once again, not sponsored, just believe in their product, and they put hundreds if not thousands of fish on my boat. So, rigging a soft plastic on a jig head. This is very important. You want that soft plastic to be straight. You want it to swim straight. You don't want it to curl or swim sideways or helicopter. The fish are gonna know something's not right. You might get a couple of bites here and there, but you are definitely missing bites. So what we do, another reason I like the vortex shad is you see this little dorsal fin right here? Most jig heads, the hook will come out right in front of that dorsal fin. If it didn't have that dorsal fin, you could lay the soft plastic next to it, see? And you can tell that hook needs to come out right there. So when you first get a soft plastic, if you don't know where the hook needs to come out the back, you can actually lay the soft plastic next to the hook, just like that, okay, where it would sit if it was all the way seated on the hook, and you can tell where that hook needs to come out, just like that, all right? So what we're gonna do now, you take a jig head in one hand, soft plastic in the other, okay? You're gonna seat it right in the middle and go straight down, and you want it to go as vertical as possible. You want that lure perfectly straight on that hook. And I'm just gonna feed it all the way down, right through the middle. I hope y'all can see that. Right through the middle, and I'm gonna come out the middle of the back, right in front of that dorsal fin. See what I did there? Right in front of the dorsal fin. Then it's as simple as push it up, just like that. That's how it should look. Nice and straight on the hook. If you bury the hook too deep in the lure will be curved up like that on the hook. If you bring the hook out the lure too soon, the lure will be curved down like that. It's not going to swim right in the water. You want that lure to be nice and straight, right down the center of the hook. That ensures that it's going to swim properly in the water and it's going to put fish on your boat. If you haven't fished a jig before, I highly suggest it. Like I said, it is my go-to. When the bite gets tough, when I'm going into a new area, when I don't know what to expect, I fish a jig. You can fish so many ways with it, so many types of water. You can fish deep, you can fish shallow, you can fish fast, you can fish slow. It's an extremely versatile bait. I've used all up and down Louisiana, the Florida coast. I've used it in, you can catch bass in ponds. I've used jigs in lakes. They just work. Now when it comes to working this lure, there's really two basic ways you can work a jig. One of them is called a straight retrieve, and it's exactly like it sounds, where you just reel the lure. And you can reel it faster to keep it higher in the water column or slower to keep it lower in the water column. Generally, here in South Louisiana, you want that lure close to the bottom. So a slow roll, you want to feel it bumping the bottom. You want to feel it coming through the grass when you're steady retrieving it. What it's doing is it just looks like a minnow swimming. That tail is flipping back and forth as it goes through the water. The other way is to jig it, hence how a jig gets its name. And by jigging it, I mean you're going to pop it. You pop it, and it's going to jump up and fall. When it falls, that tail flops, and then it just sits on the bottom. That's the key. You have to maintain contact with the bottom when you're jigging, okay? You can jig it, when you're jigging it, you can pop it as many times or as few times as you like. You can do one hop, you can do 3 hops, doesn't matter. You can do subtle hops, you can do big, huge hops where you work the rod really hard. It all depends on what the fish want. You have to try everything when you go out. In the winter, they typically want to jig very slowly. The last couple of weeks, we've transitioned to a straight retrieve. With the warmer water, the fish are more aggressive. They're chasing after active bait. They don't want it jigged slow. They want it drug across the bottom like a minnow swimming, trying to avoid being seen. So that's all for this week's video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you picked up something with this week's tackle tip. Go out, get you a jig, get you a swim bait, try it out. It's a lot of fun. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of the action. I will see y'all next time here on Salty Bottom Outdoors.